Alright, so everybody knows I installed this Solar Boost controller here from Blue Sky, which is fantastic. It really helps tremendously with the amount of solar you're getting off of your existing panels. But however, I decided I wanted to go even further and add more than 400 watts of solar later on. So I'm installing this Blue Solar 1030 along with this Bluetooth dongle, and it'll open with the app. So where I've cut this hole, I'm actually going to have the iPad mounted here. So right now I'm just kind of going through to see what I have. I'm going to install this loosely to see how it works, but I'll be able to add a lot more solar in the future, which is what my plan is. So that being said, we're going to plug this up and see how things work. So again, this works, it's plug and play just like the other one, which is great. So yeah, let me get this plugged in, and gonna kind of get it mounted and just let it hang here for a minute, and we'll see how it looks. Got my helpers here with me. All right, so all I'm going to be doing is taking off from, you can see, battery, positive, negative, PV, negative, PV, positive, and I'll be going into the same holes over here. So I'll just take one off at a time and move them. Pretty simple stuff. And you do have the two additional ones going into here, and the yellow and the white one are actually from the auxiliary solar port on the back panel. These go up to the solar panel on the roof. So I'm going to go ahead and move those wires over now. Alright, so I moved the battery over, and I've already got a light on my Bluetooth here, so we're going to go ahead and connect this here. You can do a demo if you wanted to see how this is going to look. So let's skip through this, skip. And it's already listed here. Connecting. Pin code 6 zeros. Press pair. Let's go ahead and update. So it's going to update this unit via Bluetooth. Don't leave the app, stay close to the device. I'm not going to move. I'm just going to let this finish, and I'll be back in a minute. Okay, it's almost done here. Firmware up to date. Continue. And now that's good there. So, fetching data. Now I don't have my solar hooked up yet, so this tells me my battery voltage. I'm currently plugged in. Alright, I'm going to change the pin code. Alright, I changed the pin code. Now we're going to go and move those wires from our solar over to here, and I'll come back in a moment. Okay, the first update I did was to the Bluetooth controller. Now I'm updating the actual solar controller. Be done in a moment. So you don't have a whole lot of room to put the wires in here, so I actually don't have the auxiliary port hooked up yet. I'm going to have to end up splicing in to these and just having one wire, so I'll make a distribution block, which is easy enough. So for now I just have these up here. So that is one downside to this, and I am going to trim them down a little bit so they're not, I don't want the unshielded wires sticking out of the top. So but it is working really well. This will be done updating in a moment. And then tomorrow I'll be mounting everything in here Okay, firmware updated. Continue. So this app is pretty neat. If you have a bunch of different solars, it'll show you here. So this shows you your solar wattage, solar voltage, solar current, battery voltage, battery current, charge state. You can see your history, and you can see your trends. Sun keeps going in and out, so that's going up and down. It was up to about 200 a minute ago. Tap on these now. So that's that. And here you've got, you can select your battery types, which I haven't done yet. I need to see what that is. What is expert mode? Okay. So it shows you can go in here and change all your absorption rates and everything else. So we'll take a look at that in a moment. Load output. How do you want it to operate? Battery life. Okay, so this is for the app. You can have it always on. Street light function, I'll need to see what that is. So, got to do some digging around in the app. But, so far, this is going to be nice. I'll be able to put up to, it's over 1,000 watts, I believe it'll handle. So, which this unit handles around 400 like the factory one, the one that comes on the Winnebago, but this is your MPPT, so it does handle your charging better. So I'll look at these settings and get back. Alright, I got it set up. I got my AC running on battery right now. So because of my battery voltage, alright, so if you flip this, it gives you more information. That's really kind of nice right there. It's getting cloudy. So when I installed the other thing, I had to cut this hole. So what I'm thinking about doing, because I do like the landscape sideways version better, is mounting it here and actually moving the LP valve somewhere, not sure where yet, thinking about that. And then I'll just cover this hole. That's not a big deal, but I'm going to take this and mount it back behind here, like directly behind where I'm going to mount the iPad, so I can just take some screws and run through here, put some nuts on the other side of here, and just mount that right here. Move that out of the way. That's my plan for that. And then I'll take the the Bluetooth, and screw it right back to here probably. Right back to this. As of right now, that's my plan. Of course, I can always change, but I'll need to relocate this. Not a big deal. Okay, we're back here. That's the next day. And one thing I'm going to do is, I ordered the stuff that I needed online, and that should be delivered today. So we'll finish up all the wiring for today. But one thing I need to do is set up a way to provide power to the iPad. So what I'm doing is I'm running power from down here up to the back of there. So in order to get the wire up to there, I've got a washer on a string. I'm going to drop it down through that hole, and I can reach underneath there and grab it, and then I'll just pull the wires back up that I have. I made the wire down there with the string. So let me get this started. I don't know if you're going to be able to see anything, but I'll just put the camera just like that. So let's see what happens. Oh, I got it. That was easy. That was super easy. So now I got the wire through there. So let me go grab something real quick. All right, so what I'm going to do is I cut the string off. The washer is just a little washer. Provides weight is all that does. And then I'm going to take wiring loom that I made. This is going to be super easy, so I don't really need to be too... You can see I just tied there. Then I'm going to flip that around like that. It looks like that. Then I'm going to wrap some tape around this, electrical tape. Nothing fancy, just like that. Now, I'm going to use two hands again. One here, one on my string over here. I'm going to pull that right up through there. Wish there's a better way to sit this, better place to sit this. I don't have a better place to sit it, so it's just going to sit right there again. It's long enough. Okay, here we go. Now I got this, which I'm going to splice into those wires there. And then these two, which are going to connect to my USB controller, that charger that is arriving today. It's a 12 volt. And we'll mount that back in here and then just run the iPad through there and plug it in. So pretty simple stuff. So that went very well. I'm leaving the string on here until I have all that done so I don't lose the wire back through there. But it is long enough. I probably have about maybe 8 feet of wire here, I think. So yeah, I got to run to the store and get some stuff. We're moving this. I think I'm going to relocate this to over here. Maybe even up here. I really haven't decided yet. But that will be getting relocated. This is easy. You just pop that off. There's 2 screws and there's just a hole drilled behind it. And that's how you get that off. Very, very easy. Alright, so this is what I decided to do. I'm actually going to mount this switch in this hole, and I'm going to make another cover for it. That's what the hole looks like. So if you're going to drill a new hole, like if you don't already have this big a hole like I do, you want to basically drill 4 corners and then you can cut out there. So since I don't have that, well, since I don't have that option, I'm actually going to mount this right here. So how I'm going to do that, I've got this piece of wood here I'm going to put behind here and screw in and then put another piece on top of it that I've cut to be the same thickness as this, and that'll give me something to attach to. So I'm going to work on that now, and then I'm going to make the cover plate I'm going to put over it. This will get mounted in there. This I didn't have to disconnect, by the way. It fits right through this hole. You don't have to disconnect the wires or anything, so super easy. And they are long enough to where if you wanted to mount it up here, you could, or if you want to mount it over here, you could, or wherever. Anyhow, keep it simple, put it there, and this is going to be mounted behind here like that, and iPad's going to cover up these holes here. There is enough thickness here, so this will still be able to open. So I'm going to work on doing this now. Alright, well, I didn't film any of the install, but I did finish here. So that's how it turned out in the end. You know, if you didn't cut the hole here like I did, you wouldn't have that black plate on there. But this is actually held up by command strip Velcro. So, yeah, there's my display, and I can also see it on my phone as well. And hang on. If I take the iPad off, you can see I mounted this in here. It's a little crooked on purpose because the piece of wood I had to put in there to mount the valve onto is in the way, so I just put it in there crooked, but that's how it looks with that off. So with the, hang on, let me put this back up. All right, put that back up. So with the controller in the back, previously I showed how you couldn't fit both the auxiliary and the solar panel port together, wires together into the one port. So the max gauge wire you can put into that port is a 6 gauge, and from the panel is a 8 gauge. So I got a 6 gauge pigtail, and I got a bus bar, and I connected everything to that. So now overall capacity is going to be a little bit higher because I'm not limited to the 8 gauge of solar on the roof. Meaning that I didn't want to run an 8 gauge pigtail, because then when you have something auxiliary and the roof, you're going to be putting a little bit of strain on the wires. But anyhow, this is that. You can click trends, and you can see over time where it's been. You can choose solar voltage or wattage, and this has been unplugged most of the day, but you can go back to where I finally plugged it in, and it's not sunning out right now, so I'm not going to get as much. So we'll look at this tomorrow. Should be getting around 200 on the one panel. Then I have my auxiliary panel, which would give me another 100 or so. But now I'm not limited to that. I could actually run probably up to 1,000 watts, I think. So, but yeah, that's it. Happy with it. It's nighttime. I always like to check on things when there's no sun, just to see how things look here. There we go. Battery voltage is 13.08 volts. It is plugged in right now. Oh wait, that's a solar voltage. The The battery voltage, 13.68. Not sure why I have solar voltage. It's dark out. I don't have any current, so. Battery state is off. Why is the charger off? Insufficient power. Not enough solar power. Alright, so that's going to be looking forward to seeing how this is in the morning. No, I don't want to reset the history. And that's how it looks at night. Oh. I can open that up just fine too, by the way. Alright. We're going to do a quick update on the solar controller. You can see I made a oak plate back here just to cover the hole that I made. So anyhow, this is how it's been going over time. I'm plugged in right now and it's also overcast. So you're going to show 0 watts here, but you can see the power that we've had over time. I also added a battery voltage meter smart battery sense to the battery bank. That way I get a very accurate battery reading. My next step is probably going to be to add the shunt. So I might not do that with AGM. If I ever go to lithium, I'll do that with lithium, but that'll be my next upgrade to solar, is adding a shunt and possibly more panels on the roof. But anyhow, so this is kind of what things look like. This shuts off after a few minutes. If you want it to stay on, like if you're driving down the road or it's daytime out and you just want to keep an eye on things, you just go here, you hit this, you go to settings, and you select keep screen on. You just turn that on and that'll keep your screen on for you. This is also where you can focus, choose Fahrenheit, Celsius, whatever there. So you just tap on that, it connects, and then shows your historical data here, your charge state, temperature. So the battery sense also has a temperature sensor on it, which really isn't that big deal for AGM. So it's just sitting on the batteries. I didn't actually tape it to the battery. Yeah, there's the information that you have. I'm not sure if you can click on any of it. You can't. And then in here you have all your settings for your battery profile and all that good stuff. So that's how that ended up for me. Very happy with it.